Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We've got Big E, we've got AJ, we've got Rudo coming to you live. We're talking young guns today, some of the best stars in the league under the age of 25. We'll get into that list in just a little bit. We'll give you our top 10, but a couple of other topics to get into, including a few what ifs submitted by you guys after our what if show yesterday that I wanted to touch on here. Number one, what if Valanciunas never got suspended in the two playoff runs these last couple of years? We kind of already touched on that one a little bit on the show. I don't know how much of a difference it really would have made in 2023. Allegedly, he was hurt anyway that year, and the Avs with that first round series was pretty cursed. They were battling a lot of injuries, a lot of factors there. 2024, though, he was the leading scorer in the playoffs at that point. It maybe could have mattered. Maybe could have mattered in 2024 for Nichushkin to not do what he did. I don't know. Maybe they end up losing to Edmonton in the conference finals anyway. Who's to say? But
yeah,
is what it is.
Man,
a couple of other
one, man.
Go ahead.
Like, definitely confident that they beat Seattle. I feel like I like their chances more against Dallas, but certainly wouldn't say confident. And then, who knows after that?
Hard to gauge.
Yeah.
Couple of disconnected ones from that. A bunch from 2010, 2011. What if Mueller doesn't miss the whole season with that concussion? He was... I do wonder how much of his 20 games in Colorado was just a wicked hot streak, but we never got to find out. I mean,
frankly, we could make a top 5 list of post-deadline like Avs who played out of their minds. That era is a great example. Peter Mueller, Tomas Fleischmann, Mikhail Bodker all had like blistering hot quarter seasons in Colorado. Sven Andrighetto had the best part. Yeah, I mean, not a little bit different as an internal guy, but yeah, like you have those guys. Like they're just not those players. You know, they tried it with Sven Andrighetto the next year, and we saw, he's not that guy.
Yep. A couple others from that one. What if Craig Anderson doesn't get hurt? I don't know.
He was a dick.
What? Who? What if who?
Andy.
Craig Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
He also was the guy who would have great year, terrible year, great year, terrible year. So
yeah, he did it for like a decade.
Yeah.
He hurt with us, though. He had an unbelievable year. And next year, like, he was struggling, and then we just...
Exactly.
Because he wasn't going to sign with us, and we weren't going to sign him, so that's okay.
And then the one that hurts stab in the chest. What if Forsberg comeback actually worked out and we didn't end up with the Valentine massacre?
What, they lose in the first round of a playoff series?
Yeah, would it really have mattered that much to the season? Probably.
So,
not, but
the one that we didn't talk about at all yesterday that I think I'm surprised hasn't been brought up on this list is the Statue of Liberty. What if that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
What if Waugh just covers that puck?
Blown the F out in that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what if he's not preening right there doing the Patrick Waugh stuff and he just covers the puck and moves on? You know, the whistle happens. They don't get a free goal out of it. How much does that change history? That's the one, man, that I'm just... That one, when I was looking at the list again yesterday, I was like, we should have had that on there somewhere.
Be on here.
But I can understand a collective that never happened by all of us. I'm good with that.
There was one other one, which technically not Avs related, technically Nordiques, but there were rumors at one point that the Nordiques were going to trade Joe Sakic for Vinny Lecavalier.
Not true.
The question there is, what if Tampa Bay would have accepted the 4 first-round picks that the Avs accumulated leading up to that draft? And it's funny, Ian and I actually talked about this off air the other day. All 4 of those picks turned into NHL regulars. Think about that now. How first round picks are valuable, but even if you get a guy that plays a few hundred games, that's a huge win for you. All 4 of those first round picks were NHL regulars. 3 of them were contributors to the 2001 Cup team.
It's true. Yeah. Impressive stuff. Which I guess the Avs haven't. When's the last time the Avs had 2 first round picks? I guess Byram and Newhook in 2019. Well, no, I'm stupid. Obviously, a couple of years ago, Gulyev and Richie. Okay, so.
You said it. Not me.
All right. A couple of other topics to get into quickly. First, yeah, that sandwich draft. All right, I would just pick a Rubin in the 5th round, and you guys would all lose to me. All right, how the Rubin didn't get picked in that draft was crazy to me.
Did you listen to that show?
No, I just saw the list.
I said on that show, it was funny to have J Mike on for that day because it guaranteed there would be no Rubin on the list. But if Rudo was around, Rubin would have been a tip-top selection.
Going round on that
board. Yeah.
I got a lot of flack on mine, but I don't care. Mine were like local picks. You know what I mean? Like,
we're
been Shore. You know, you don't know what a North Shore Beef 3-way is. You know.
Dude, the girl and I are coming to visit this summer, and we're gonna go get one of those.
It's wrong. It doesn't right. And Montreal smoked meat. I'm telling you, it's wrong. But most people never had it, right? You know, that's why.
It's so good.
Of course, cheese and cheeseburger won. No crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have some reservations about allowing cheeseburger on that list. All right.
I'm putting a protest on that draft right now. I won hands down.
Yeah, the Montreal smoked meat, so good, dude. Really underrated, like you said. Too many people haven't gotten to experience it, but.
And that's what I mean. If you don't, then it's hard. You know what I mean? But it's so good. My top 2 picks were sick. I don't remember what the third one was.
Also underrated, Montreal bagels. So good, dude.
Yes.
I feel like
really
bagels
good
in general are underrated. You can't go wrong with bagels.
I agree, but I used to think that it was such a silly thing, you know, living out west, hearing about New York City bagels all the time, and then I moved here and I was like, oh, these are different. And, you know, I had a couple of Montreal ones as well, and it's like,
what draft was Kucherov? What pick was Kucherov?
He was 2011, drafted in the 2nd round.
See, wasn't even the 1st round. See, that's kind of like my picks, you know, because not a lot of people had seen him. Not a lot of people went to Russia to see him. So my draft was like Kucherov or Milan Hajduk as 7th rounder.
He was a 3rd rounder. Hajduk and Drury in the same round.
As you, yeah, okay. Well, here you go.
All right, we can. I want to start with the Avs angle on this. We will get to the actual young gun players, but the Avs, as currently constructed, would be one of the oldest teams in the NHL. And depending on who makes their everyday lineup, may have 0 people that would qualify for our young guns list today. Yeah. Are they too old?
I'm not going to say they're too old. I think the biggest problem is that there's no tomorrow with this group.
Exactly.
Like,
sure.
You are not looking at this group and saying, yeah, in 3 years they're fine. They're going to have guys. Lehkonen is 30, Nichushkin is 30, Landeskog is 32, Nelson's 33, even McKinnon at 29. I mean, come on, man. Like, your baby boy here is Cale Makar and Martin Necas at 26.
Yep.
When your
Not young.
baby boys on your roster have to be on their own insurance and they can't be on their parents' insurance and they can rent their own cars, you're an old team. Like, I guess Jack Drury, 25 years old. Sorry, Jack Drury is the true baby boy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, like you said, the Avs they're in it, right? They're in it. That's why they made the meme that they made last year. That's why I love the moves they made at the deadline. Did it work? No. If it worked, they would have been sick. You know what I mean? But they're in it. There's no and they're in it again this year. You know what I mean? And that they're in it. They have the potential to have the team to win. You know, so you make decisions differently than, for example, the two easiest ones to compare them to is, Chicago and San Jose that are in completely different mode than what the Avalanche are. Too old? No. Towards the end of the window, probably, right? Probably another couple years, right? So let's go. Let's keep making moves. Let's keep making moves. I don't care if you're older, as long as you're wiser.
Yeah, and I mean this is the complete opposite of where Dallas is, where basically all of their young guys or all of their best guys are still in their 20s.
Yep. For what it's worth, in 12 to 18 months, we could be talking about Guliev and Nabokov as some younger guys, but
yeah.
So there is a little bit there still. It's not a completely empty.
It's not, and I mean, you do look at it and you could talk yourself into, hey, if Gavin Brindley becomes an NHL regular, he's 20 right now. And I don't think that for me, it's not far-fetched that Gavin Brindley is an NHL regular. I don't think he's going to be
I would agree.
Like a high impact top 6 player, but an NHL regular, Sean Barron's at 22 years old. If that guy becomes a regular, so there are a couple of guys, but if these guys don't hit, there's nothing behind them. So, and I'll tell you that the Del Elche kid.
Yeah, he's got some
pizzazz
for sure.
You keep an eye on him.
Yeah, nice kid. Dulce de leche. Got ice cream named that already. Talk about promotional.
Someone's gonna have to sign him to an ice cream deal for sure.
Yes. Come on, UMass. Come on, Greg Carvel. Let's go.
So I mean, think
it's right there. Greg Carvel, his last name is Carvel. Just get us a deal with Carvel ice cream. Dulce de leche. You're welcome. I'm a marketing genius. I need a new job.
The other question I wanted to ask you guys, not necessarily Avalanche related. Are we in the next wave, the next era? Like, obviously you had the McKinnon, McDavid era of superstars. And then you had kind of Connor Bedard. Is he the leading edge of this new era? I know everyone's hyping up Gavin McKenna as like the next true superstar. Where do you draw that line of this era of young hockey stars?
I do think it starts with Bedard, because you look at those handful of draft years, Lafreniere hasn't really done it. Owen Power hasn't really done it. Like solid players, right? Quentin Byfield, okay, Capo Kakow's been kind of busty. Was really good in Seattle to end the year.
The one guy who looks good in Seattle.
Shane Wright, Logan Cooley, good players here. But these aren't the guys that are reshaping the league. Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, Gavin McKenna. That's three draft classes out of 4.
Yep.
When it happens next season, that's so different. That feels very different. And this most recent draft class is the one we'll look back and we'll be like, good players. Good players. I don't think transformational players, franchise players. So, yeah, I think this is the wave that has to be this is the future. because the 4 or 5 years preceding that didn't do that for the league.
And that's why you
Okay.
cut it off like Bedard.
Yeah. I would agree.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right. I think we're on the same page on that front then. So that's good. We do need to take our first break of the show before we jump into our top 10 list, though. So let's make sure we get in on that and pay our bills a little bit here, as we are brought to you by the folks over at Empire Today. You can join in with Empire Today. Check them out online at empiretoday.com/DNVR. They are the flooring experts. They've got everything you need. They only carry the best products around, so you know you're getting good quality stuff. They've got professional installers. You can even have them come out to your house and get a free in-home estimate. If you're an introvert, you can do it online too. Use their online tools to measure out your space and see what the floors look like in there. But doing it in home is the best way to do it. They'll bring floor swatches. You can see what they look like with your furniture in your rooms. So get with them. Head over to empiretoday.com/DNVR. When you use that DNVR code, you'll get $350 off your new floors. You heard that right. $350 discount with promo code DNVR over at empiretoday.com/DNVR. Of course, restrictions apply. You can visit empiretoday.com for full details. Or, of course, you can always call 1-800-588-2300. Empire. Once you've got your floors set up with Empire Today, you also need to make sure to take care of the basics of your body. Mostly I'm talking about your smells, and that's where Mando comes into play. Mando, men's deodorant that is covering all of a man's body, not just your armpits, not just the normal spots, but they've got the butts, the balls, the butt cracks, the grundles, every unmentionable part of your body. They want to make sure it's smelling right, feeling good. You can jump in with a bunch of amazing scents like bourbon leather, Cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sports. Go get their starter pack today, which comes with 4 items, including a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 products of your choice, like mini body wash or deodorant wipes. When you use code DNVR on top of getting that starter pack, you'll get 20% off site-wide and free shipping over at shopmando.com. So use the DNVR code. Go to shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Get that 20% off and free shipping. Use the DNVR code. Let them know we sent you over there. You'll get a great deal. And, they know we sent you there. It's good for everybody. Everybody wins. Go get them. Shopmando.com. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. All right. So, a top 10 list of under 25 players. Before we actually get into listing guys, I want to ask, any goalies on your lists?
No.
I also had no goalies.
Yeah. No.
If it was top 15, Dustin Wolf would have made it. But
All right.
As is, no.
My guy.
Okay. I'm good with that. Let's get into it. Number 10 spot. I had Lane Hudson at 10.
I did not have Lane Hudson on my list. I had him at 11. So.
Right in there.
And then I don't have a list, like I said to you guys, but Lane Hudson is going in. That's where I'm shoo-shooing AJ. He's out. And then Lane's going in.
Eric has Lane at 1.
Lane is 1 for me, and Macklin 1. Be you boys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you guys on Lane Hudson.
It's just too hard for me to leave the Calder winner off, so I had to put him in at 10.
No, 10. Yeah, he should be at 10.
Definitely not 1.
Despite what he's 1 in my heart, but he's 10 on this.
Yeah, comfortable with Hudson being there at 10. I had Mo Sider, so I'm not gonna sit here and scratch and claw about Mo Sider, who has had he's had a really bad year along with some good years, and so I'm kind of about it.
Yeah, I left Sider off. He's a weird one where maybe he should be on, but he hasn't lived up to the expectations, and that knocked him down a little bit on my list. So it's weird, but
yeah, to me, it was like when they turned it all over to him, he fell apart. And then when they had Edmondson come in to help him out, he was good again. And I'm like, okay, well, how much of that is him being good and how much of that is Edmondson being the one that's good? So that, like I said, I think if I had more, like ask me again in a year, and for me, I think Lane Hudson is an easy. I'll probably take him easily over Sider, but also I hate everything Detroit, so I'm probably underrating that guy.
All right.
Fair enough. I don't think this one's that crazy. He just could not be on my list winning the Calder. And he looks like he's set up to be one of the premier offensive Ds in the league. So,
Guy's awesome.
Number 9, I'll let you take this one first, AJ.
I had Matt Boldy. He's really good. He just kind of does a little bit of everything for Minnesota. I don't have much else to say. He's a good all around player. Scores 30 goals, gives you 70 points. Rock solid.
I had Boldy at 8, but I'm good with him at 9.
Perfect. The decider says yes.
Right. Matt Boldy it is.
Love Matt Boldy. Love Matt Boldy. Size, strength, clutch.
Yeah.
I like him. Oof.
Yeah.
Consistent
when
performer.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
when Minnesota took Matt Boldy, it broke my heart because I was like, that guy's going to be in the NHL. And unfortunately, I was right about that one. One of the few prospects that I was really, really vocal about that actually ended up good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. How many Dallas Stars do you have on this list?
2.
Okay, I also have 2.
So you're thinking Johnson. Who's the other guy?
Harley.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Harley. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
Those guys are a little higher up on my list.
Same.
So
just had to get it in there because people were going to be mad. My number 9, which would now be 8, and I'm expecting you guys to hold him off the list, and I do not blame you. But I had Matt Vaymichkov at 9.
Yeah, just not enough yet. That was a guy I looked at and I was just like, look, we're talking about who's the best player today. Mitchkov just didn't quite have it there.
Totally good with leaving him off the list. It's kind of the same thing you said about Hudson. Next year, I expect him to be on the list. But
yeah, like I don't have Cole Caulfield on my list, and I love that guy and think he's awesome. I just think he's too one-dimensional in this list. This list is full of guys who are really good all-around players. So,
I love Caulfield.
I do too. I love that little guy.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, Tortorella.
So if we're doing, I love Torts. That's why. But if we're doing this list 20 games from now, then yeah, I would push for my boy Demidov. But we'll wait till he gets out there.
Yeah, Demidov is one. Yeah, we're talking about reshaping the league.
No,
like Demidov and Michkov, like those guys are common.
Yeah. So, but again, he's played a couple games in the playoffs, so that doesn't fit the bill today for this. But
if you're struggling to put Michkov on the list, ain't no way you can put Demidov on the list.
Yeah. Big believer, though. Again, we'll make this list again next summer when we also need summer content.
Yep. He'll be on it.
Just watch out.
But yes, Caulfield. Yeah.
All right. So that was my number 8 and 9. We still need your number 8, AJ, and then we have E as the arbiter of allowance.
My number 8 is Seth Jarvis. Talk about a really good all-around player, multiple 30-goal seasons. I honestly had a hard time with Wyatt Johnston and Seth Jarvis, like where
they're very similar guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled with it, and I was like, they're kind of similar, so I put them next to each other on my list. But I put Jarvis at 8 just because I like Wyatt Johnston that much more.
Go ahead, Rudo.
It is a tough. I think I would lean Jarvis ahead of Johnson just because Jarvis has been more effective in the playoffs.
That's well, and it depends on the playoff year, right? Because Johnston was really good 2 years ago, and he wasn't very good this most recent one.
Yeah, so it's a little bit hard to judge, but Jarvis has been a pretty darn consistent playoff guy. I guess this last season was his best, but
Well, and Jarvis is an absolutely elite defensive forward. That guy
yeah,
rocks defensively. Fantastic. And the one thing with Johnston that you're talking about is he's not like he's a jack of all trades. He's really good at a lot of stuff, but he doesn't have an absolutely tip-top elite thing the way that Jarvis does defensively. I'm talking myself into Jarvis going ahead of Johnston. I waffled on this earlier, and I'm waffling on it again. Yeah. Anyway, I'm cool. If we want to put Wyatt Johnston here, I'm good.
So yeah, I have Jarvis 7, Johnston 8. It would be 6 and 7 on my list, but yeah.
But Caulfield, if somebody's talking about Caulfield, like I love Caulfield. For me, he's 10A, whatever. He's sexier than Matt Boldy. He's sexier than Jarvis. You know what I mean? But I think Boldy and Jarvis and Johnson, their all-around game is more there yet than Cole's. You know what I mean? Cole Caulfield.
It exists.
So, yeah, at all.
And Cole does what's the toughest thing to do, which is put the puck in the net, right? My boy Cole Eiserman that we talk about, all the time. Oh, he's one-dimensional. He just scores goals. Well, boy, oh boy, I'd like to be one-dimensional when it comes down to scoring goals. It's the toughest thing to do. So, yeah, I see the argument why Cole Caulfield could be there. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that he's not good. It just means that, you only can put 10 names on this one. But I agree with you. I think Johnson and Jarvis are interchangeable right there in those two spots. And, I would give you the guys the green light and not take it to arbitration.
We'll go with that. Wyatt Johnston at 8. Seth Jarvis at 7. My thing with Caulfield is the one-dimensionality is hard for me to overcome when you look at you can be an elite player with one dimension, but the defensive side is just straight up non-existent. And if you're not putting up Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl level numbers with that little defense, Nathan McKinnon level numbers, it's hard for me to put you on the list.
Fair.
Well,
yeah.
Not that he isn't really good. Again, don't want to take anything away from him, but
yeah.
Next on my list was Harley, but I don't know what you have, AJ.
Where are we at 6?
Yep.
6 is probably going to be my outlier here. I have Owen Power.
Yeah, he did not make my list.
I know that he's not like their number one guy, but I love his all-around game. I love everything that he does for them. He produces offensively. He's good defensively. Like, I just think that there's everything that he provides to that team, I think, is so good. And because Darlene is there, it gets overlooked a little bit. So I have Owen Power here.
I'm not a fan of Owen.
I mean, he just
I knew this was going to be my outlier. I was coming in. I was like, this is going to be it. This is going to be my hottest take, is that I've got Owen Power way up here.
I think maybe one of the most accurate predictions I've made in the draft class was that Owen Power is the next Eric Johnson, and everything except for the injuries, that is like bang on true so far in his career. So
yeah. I remember us talking about it and being like, I think this is correct.
Yep. So
you're right.
Just not same as you said as some other guys. Top 15, he's probably on this list, but I could not put him in the top 10 with the career that he's had. Not that it isn't solid. Maybe I'm undervaluing the defensive side a little bit, but couldn't do it.
That's fine. We can leave off Owen Power.
All right.
But you made your point. I like it.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be my outlier. I was walking in. I was like, I'm going to get this thing next.
Harley's still next on my list. So who's next for you?
Yeah, after that is Harley for me at 5. I have
What do
Harley
we
at
got?
5.
8 is what? Wyatt Johnson? Is that what?
Yeah,
was
Wyatt
8?
Johnston.
And then 6, you can go Harley then.
Okay. All right. We're comfortable with Harley at 6.
I mean, you're talking about that freaking unbelievable Four Nations. Like, oh my God, what a coming up party. Oh my God. But anyway, look at the clock right now.
Hey, look at that.
Look at
Before we put Wyatt Johnston in there, or we already put Wyatt Johnson, I should say Thomas Harley, let's hit our second break. We can jump in and pay our bills. The way, did Thomas Harley get paid yet? Or he's still got to sign his next deal, right? Either way, when you want to go catch the Avs, which, by the way, Avs exposed Harley defensively a few times. At least they got that going for themselves. You can jump in with Game Time to go watch it live in person. The Avs schedule is out there, so you can get your tickets to games right now. Go to Game Time, use code DNVR, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you're using their Game Time Picks feature where you select the tickets you want and you filter out and get only the best prices for tickets, the best tickets you can find too, based on your search parameters, whatever the event. Maybe you're going to watch NBA Summer League. I don't really understand it, but NBA people seem to love it. Game Time has you covered with that too. They can get you into things like concerts, theaters, and more. So jump in with Game Time today. They guarantee you the lowest price out there. If you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, they'll reimburse your account 110% of the ticket price. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account with the DNVR code for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, use that DNVR code to get your $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. What time is it? Game Time, baby. Once you got your tickets to your next event, make sure you're also taking care of things on the home front. You can get in with Cake Mortgage today. Cake DSCR loans are calculated by dividing the property's monthly rental home income by its monthly mortgage payment, making things easier for self-employed and investor clients who are credit-worthy but misunderstood by traditional banks. Cake makes getting a DSCR loan simple and fast based on cash flow, not paperwork. It's great for people like real estate investors, self-employed credit-worthy borrowers, and anyone who wants to scale a rental portfolio without W-2s or tax returns. If you're a savvy, growth-minded entrepreneur who wants to use other people's rent money to grow your real estate legacy, head to cakehome.com, link in the description down below today for some of the sweetest deals available anywhere with a process that's, well, a piece of cake. You can also call 1-888-8-EAT-CAKE or go to cakehome.com to get in with Cake Mortgage. Cake Mortgage Corporation, equal housing lender, NMLS number 1734623, a license in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. All right, third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Into the top 5 under 25 players in the NHL currently. I'm interested to see.
Did you like the ad? Oh, my clock awareness is sick.
You
sick.
Yeah. Great clock awareness.
I'm still there. I just can't.
He knows when to put it off the glass and out for sure.
Yeah. You got to be aware on the bench. Like left, right. You're the grocery stick. You're going left and right, and then got clock awareness is still there. All right. Sorry. We're not talking about the top 10 grocery sticks in the league. We're talking about the best young guns. So there's a big difference. So
we are. And I know I have this guy way too high at 5, but I have Macklin Celebrini at 5.
I have him higher than that, but I have him
really. I'm down. I put him at 5, thinking you guys would say that's way too high, but
no, I even think his rookie year was underrated. He's a high-end offensive and defensive center as an 18-year-old, and if he didn't get hurt last year, I think he would have run away with the Calder. He's fantastic already. He is everything that you want him to be, and it's not even just projection. It's the player he was last year was awesome. And defensively, he's going to get better and better and better. I also think that having better players around him will help some of those defensive results because he's an 18-year-old in the NHL. Like, he's going to get run over sometimes, but you see all the traits that are there. I think he's a much better player already in his own zone than he got credit for. I say got credit for, but I mean, really, it was like I know his defensive results were bad last year, but the player that I watched, I felt much better about.
So, I mean, again, I have him on 1-2 here. Hudson, Celebrini for me. Mensa. I don't have a list, but those are my two guys. At the end of the day, who's going to have the best career there by the end of all? Like, I think their 1-2 is Celebrini, Hudson. But yeah, I understand today. You guys can put them where you want. But Macklin Celebrini, just so you know, was a 17-year-old playing in college hockey, and Jay Pandolfo 3 Stanley Cups. Coaching said, never seen anyone like that, ready to go and knowing the game. At 17, usually you're a cheater. You cheat the game, because all you care about is the cookies, and you know what I mean. This kid knows how to play hockey. He was on a bad team last year. This guy can be a two-way centerman like Jonathan Toews. When we're talking about smarts, I'm not talking about. I think he's got a big offensive up, but he's a smart two-way player. And really cares and knows what to do. Very cerebral. So yeah, it didn't show last year because they were bad, but he's that type of player.
Just to back up the conversation, and this will come up with when we talk about Connor Bedard too. But the San Jose Sharks had, including Celebrini, 5 players with more than 20 points. So he is doing that by himself. There is no help for him in that organization.
Yeah. It's like Tyler Toffoli, like Toffoli and Celebrini and Will Smith, I guess, out there like tooling around trying to figure it out. That team's going to be significantly better this season, but we're talking about relative to a team that was god awful. So, and for the record, just because I'm already into my top 4 here with 5 spots left, I don't have Connor Bedard on my list. I thought last year was pretty depressing.
Wow.
No, I don't have him on there. He's at the moment he's way too one-dimensional of a player. And that one-dimension. I left Cole Caulfield off my top 10 list for the exact same reason. He's a bad defensive player. He has had no help offensively, and I feel for that. But his all-around game didn't look like it took any kind of step forward last season, and that's with respect to. I know that they're trying to make him more than what they should be asking of him right now as a teenager. But that's just my personal. I didn't have him on this in my top 5 because we're talking about best players who they are right now, and not projection. I didn't like. I don't want Bedard on my list. So
I had Bedard at 4. If you put him on any other team, he's a point per game player and is a monster. So I get it. Defense is bad, but I could not. There's too much talent there on the offensive side. Not that Cole Caulfield's great at scoring goals and all of that, but Bedard, I think, is too talented on that front for me to leave him off my list. But we can let.
The difference there is that the Sharks were awful. The Blackhawks were awful. Celebrini drove play. He created play. He created for his teammates. He was like top, like a high end offensive contributor to a really bad Sharks team. Bedard, he didn't have a lot of help, but the things that he could control, the individual stuff that he had, it wasn't good enough. It regressed in year 2, and I think that's a large respect to that is the coaching and the fact that they were like, hey, we're trying to take some of what makes Bedard away from him. But for me, it was a red flag. It was something that I was worried about. So I'm not. Maybe I'm being too harsh here. I think Bedard is going to be a star at some point, but I think that the Blackhawks hurt him badly in the last year, and he regressed quite a bit as a result of it. And we're talking about guys like Thomas Harley was unbelievable in the postseason with no Miro Heiskanen. He's a top pairing defenseman. Seth Jarvis is a top line caliber play, ridiculous. And and all these guys I don't are on the back half of our list, so it's gonna hurt my soul when you guys put Bedard on there. But it's fine. I knew this was coming. I get it. I respect it. It's fine. But I will say the one thing, I think Bedard should be at 5 and that Celebrini should be at 4.
I'm comfortable with that swap. But you're the arbiter here on Bedard here, so.
Well, Bedard, I think, should be there because we're going to give him a pass. But I love what AJ just said because I seriously think the same way. So, and somebody had the argument earlier about Cole Caulfield, right? Oh, one dimension, and then wait till you see where Bedard's going to be, and then. But you're right, because he's not my favorite.
Yeah. Surprise.
If he goes on, it should be there, but he's going there on whatever you want to say.
I'm open. I'm open to saying I'm giving Bedard too much credit for his potential, but I think that's what this comes down to, right? When you look at what Cole Caulfield is doing, how much more is there that you can get out of Cole Caulfield than what you're getting right now? And I think we know there's a lot more you can get out of Bedard.
Well, and with Cole Caulfield, you're talking, statistically speaking, he was one of the worst defensive wings in the NHL. And that's why that's why he's probably like 11 on my list. Like he was just outside of what I wanted to do. Well, I had the Hudson at 11, and then I think 12 would probably be Caulfield. But that's the thing with Caulfield. Like he's too one-dimensional for me, and that's why I'm a little like down on him in this regard. And his defensive results were absolutely abhorrent all season long. They're like bottom of the barrel across the entire NHL.
I mean, I don't know what you want to do for 4 or 5, but as I said,
I'm good with Celebrini in front. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would prefer Celebrini to be in front of Bedard.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm pushing him to Dion, I'm pushing him to 1, buddy. Just
nah, don't listen.
He's slowly working his way.
All right. Top 3.
Hold on, A-Wolf. That is a funny comment. I love it. But I'm not repeating it. In trouble, but it's awesome.
I think 2 of these 3 are very easy. But maybe I'm off the chart here. But who did you have at 3, AJ?
I had Jake Sanderson. Top line, like top pairing defenseman, does everything. Offensive and defensive results are elite last year. Doesn't take penalties. Plays the game in a clean way. A highly, highly effective way. Elite skater. I think his points would be a little bit higher if he didn't have to compete with Thomas Chabot for some of that stuff. But love everything about Jake Sanderson. And honestly, I could make the argument that I think Sanderson and Harley are kind of in similar spots in that they're both with Chabot and Heiskanen, and if it weren't for that, they would be like hard number 1s.
Yeah.
On their teams. But with Sanderson, I love everything about his game. I didn't know how the offense was going to translate to the NHL. I was pretty down on it in his draft year. But he is. I think Sanderson is absolutely like a monster. So I love Jake Sanderson. I don't know if he should be on a PK, but everything else that he does, I think he takes on like the best that opposing teams have to offer, and that's with the results that he puts up. That guy is. I love Jake Sanderson. I could say it a few more times to make my point.
And look at the 4 nations too. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about Harley, Sanderson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, who's that? You know what I mean? I like him a lot. Do I think that Lane's going to have a better career when it's all said and done? Yes. But to put him there today, and sure, a little more experience, and you know what I mean, than Lane, but I still think I agree with Jay. I still think Lane Hudson will gonna make. You got to give me 12 more months, and then I'll have 5 and 10 there in the top 2.
Jake Sanderson had 57 points last year. He's put up back-to-back seasons of double-digit goals. Like, he's not the
That's a good
offensive player that Lane Hudson is. He is not the offensive player. Lane Hudson is a better offensive player, but I think Sanderson is going to be miles and miles ahead of what Hudson is defensively. And it's like, is he going to have a better career? I just think they're going to be so different that it's going to be like they'll both have great careers depending on what their teams need. You could say who's better, whatever. But like, if Hudson is your team's number one defenseman, I think you're worried
You're
a
in
little
trouble.
bit. But
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Sanderson's all around ability is, I think, a huge boon for him, and why I have him so much higher. Certainly today.
The separation for me comes back to what you were saying earlier, AJ. In my mind, Thomas Harley is still the Stars' number 2. Heiskanen is the number 1 guy there.
Yeah.
Compared to Sanderson, who, in my opinion, overtook Chabot pretty easily this year to become their number 1 guy, help them make that push to get them back into the playoffs. Obviously, there's a bunch of other stuff there, but you're talking about a guy that is he's pushing Devon Taves, Cale Makar level minutes for his team too. He's playing an outrageous amount of time and putting in good performances night in, night out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, going up against tip-top competition, you look at what Hudson went up against, he was more of a second pairing defenseman. When you consider the entire body of work. I know by the end of the year, it was like, we have to play Lane all the time. But Sanderson's body of work last year was, hey, he's going to play the absolute best that opposing teams have to offer. Hudson got protected a little bit more. I don't know if that happens next season, because he's such a special offensive player. But yeah, for me, that was where that separation is.
It's going to be with Noah Dobson.
That's going to be a disaster in their own zone, but it's going to be lightning with the puck.
Best defense is good offense, all right?
Right.
Yeah, maximum to the max. That's going to be the theory.
All right. We'll put not Owen Power, boo Owen Power. We'll put
Jake Sanderson.
Jake Sanderson, thank you. My brain went blank at 3. And then we have the top 2. I assume you have the same top 2 that I do, but I don't really think there's any competition here. I'm curious what order you have them in, though.
So considering injuries made me a little uncomfortable here, but I think I went with the right order. Tim Stützle is great, so I'm comfortable putting him at 2. I like Tim Stützle, but the last couple of years, I mean, 2 years ago he scored 18 goals. Like he's 3 years ago he scored 39, so monster. But that already looks like an outlier in his career. But I'm comfortable that Tim Stützle is great. He's great, but I'm not putting him ahead of Jack Hughes. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Jack Hughes is dominant when he's out on the ice, and all the stuff I said about being a two-way player and all that, I'm clearly throwing in the trash. But Jack Hughes he's absolutely electric and is a special talent right now already. Not projecting, is a special player. But the injuries, if you wanted to ding him for the injuries and put Stützle ahead of him, I wouldn't have an argument. I would say that that's fair enough.
I wanted to, but I didn't. I begrudgingly left Jack Hughes at 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about similar production the last couple of years, and Stützle has played 40 more games or something. So it's like, that's a lot. That's a big difference. Jack Hughes, what Hughes is able to do, he is. God, when I watch him, I just cannot help but always think. Yesterday was our what if show. I can't help but think that guy as an Av behind Nathan McKinnon. Yeah, they would have been not great defensively, but oh my God,
it would have been electric.
I went to with my youngest like a youth hockey tournament a couple years, like 2 years ago maybe. And Jersey was playing in Nashville, and we went to the game, and boy, oh boy, I had never sat and said, I'm just going to watch him today. And he was on that night. He was electrifying. And I couldn't. I remember talking to Marty Brodeur and GM Tommy Fitzgerald right after the second there, because I'm friends with both of them. But I mean, Fitzy, and I hadn't seen Fitzy in a little bit, and then I was in awe, and I told him, I said, guys, I said, this guy's so good. Holy crap! I never realized it. They started laughing. They're like, yeah, he is sick, isn't he? And I'm like, no, he's sick. I was like, wow, he's got me on the edge of my seat. You know what I mean? And I was like, didn't realize it till then. And since then, I'm a big fan. Again, durability is, we'll see. At some point, it has to stop. Knock on wood for him. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it has to stop, right? I mean, at some point, you're going to have to play, right? And not get injured. So hopefully this is behind them. And, and then Stützle he seems like he's got a lot of swag. And so you're telling me Ottawa's got a good future with Stützle and Jake Sanderson, right? I mean, right?
Yeah, right.
Right, they should have a bright future. You know, Steve Stais and those guys are reshaping in Greener. I mean, according to a lot of people, you would think arguably 2 top 10 kids. So good on them. But Jack Hughes is special. So is Quinn. I don't want to hear it from Avs fans. Like, Quinn Hughes is an unbelievable hockey player.
That guy's insanely good.
He's insane. It's not being biased. I just think Kale is the best player on the planet, but that doesn't make
Kale.
That doesn't make Quinn Hughes an
the second
player.
best defenseman in the world is still really good.
Yeah, right.
Out of his mind.
Come on.
And Luke's good too, Hughes. So I can't get over 3 brothers that are that good. No offense to the Sutters. There was 6 of them, and what a big, great family, by the way. But a lot of them were Grinders, and you know, I mean, but it's rare. You got 3 guys that are, top 4Ds or top 6 guys or whatever you want to call that. But but basically, I'm just kind of obviously top line guy because Jack is the top line guy, and then obviously Quinn probably second best D in the league, and then. So I'm just giving flowers to Luke here. You know, he'd probably end up being a top 4, or, maybe a top. I don't know. Time will tell. But it's kind of crazy, that family. Like, oh my Lord, this is nuts. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is availability. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Hughes has had multiple seasons on pace for 100 points. Stützle has had one 90-point season.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. I mean, I would still have Stützle too. And Hughes
Same. I have Stützle too.
Okay. Easy.
And
Tim
just
Stützle too.
We talked about Demidov and Michkov. Like, Michkov's right on the outside. Somebody had him. Was that Rudo that had him? And
yeah, I had him at 9.
Yeah, I mean, he led the league in scoring, right? Goals in first year guys. So good play. And then that's what we said. Demidov, give us 25 games from now, and he makes the list. He just hasn't really played. He's played 2 games, but 3 games, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the way that we're doing this list. Like, again, you look at it 1 year from now.
At least 3 or 4 different names probably going to be on it. Yeah.
Well, and like Lane Hudson, so much higher.
Yep. And then a year after that, Gavin McKenna is going to be on the list. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of these guys will start to fall off, but yeah, like Lane Hudson rocks. I think he's the guy that you look at down on this list and say, I think, because like Boldy, Johnston, Jarvis, I don't think they can get higher on this list. I think they are where they are.
I would agree. They're pretty maxed out.
Yeah, and the other guys, I think that like Stützle, it can really only drop from here. Really, he'll just age out of it. But like Lane Hudson is the one that you look at on this list and say has a chance to really go up this list. And then the guys, Dustin Wolf has another year like that. I think we're talking Dustin Wolf.
Yep. It's Lane Hutson's 21, right? So he has 3 more years left on this list, whereas Jake Sanderson's 23. So after
Right.
next season, he's off the list. Like,
Yeah, you're like under 25. Okay, well, Macklin Celebrini's 19 years old.
right. He's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this list is 3 years from now. This list is going to be Celebrini, Bedard, McKenna, and Lane Hudson. And it's like, well, this was fun.
Yep. All right. So Jack Hughes takes the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Our list
Now,
officially.
hey, is it Jack Hughes, my buddy from BU, or Jack Hughes?
No, it is not that Jack Hughes.
Oh, come on.
The one in the NHL putting up elite results on both ends of the ice, although I would never say he's an elite defensive player.
I tried, Jacko. I tried.
There's too many BU guys on this list as it is, all right?
I would say Jack Hughes may be one of the most electric players in the NHL with the puck. Were it not for injury, I would probably have him higher in my like overall player rankings, but I have him, I think it was Jay Fresh that was doing the rank that, vote on your forwards and whatever. And I had Hughes and Kaprizov like right there fighting each other for like my 9 and 10 spots in the entire league. So I think Hughes is by a considerable margin. I would say Hughes is the best player on this list today. And a year from now, it'll probably be Macklin Celebrini because I'm all in on that guy being
so
absolute.
good, dude. Yeah, he's
dominant.
So good. And then you're gonna have 2 more BU guys like 2 years from now on this list because my buddy Cole and Cole are gonna make this list. So Cole Hudson, if you got Lane there, Cole's making it. Cole's outstanding. Not taking anything away from Lane because Lane is amazing. Cole is amazing, and Cole Eiserman's gonna make the list there.
I don't know how Eiserman's going to make it when we don't have Caulfield.
Can't make it. Cole, not a good name to have to make this list.
Cole's doing it.
That would be pretty funny if we just snuck like 4 different Coles onto the list and we're like, it just happens like
we'll
that.
have Caulfield on the list and we'll get Izzy on the list. And then Schaefer will get in there too. There you go. Let's go.
I'll tell you what. If
Caulfield's
Cole Eiserman outscores Cole Caulfield next year, I'll put him on the list.
We'll get the year after.
Yeah.
If Cole Eiserman gets 40, I'll put him on the list. All right.
Come on, let's go.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much the list. I do think it's interesting. Look, the NHL is entering this new cap era. I talked a little bit about this on the Discord the other day. By the way, become a diehard. Join us on the Discord, get a bunch of amazing bonuses, and read all of AJ's diehard content because it's amazing. But
yeah, please. I've written so much more this offseason than I expected to. Please tell me somebody out there is reading it.
With the cap exploding, with these contracts we're seeing, we are re-entering an era of the NHL where ELCs are about to become so unbelievably valuable when it comes to their cap value that quality young players are going to be near invaluable to teams. Like having guys on ELCs is going to be such an unbelievably good deal. It's one big concern for the Avalanche, I think, that they don't have a ton of that in the pipeline coming over these next couple of years as the cap goes up.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
So they're going to have to get creative with some solutions, maybe.
It's interesting because I also think that a lot of the like long-term contracts that are getting signed last year, this year, and next year are going to be some of the most valuable deals in the league
by the end of them,
as it kind of like reorients itself around a rising cap world where, like, remember there was that grip of contracts like Nathan McKinnon, Mark Scheifele, Johnny Gaudreau, like that like grip that they were all signed in that little cluster, and then the cap went up several times, and by the end of it, all those players were severely underpaid. I think that's what we're gonna see. Like you look at some of the guys on this list. Jack Hughes makes $8 million. That's already good value.
Great
but
deal.
You give it 3 years from now, that Jack Hughes contract is gonna be like, what the? This is amazing. And Chad has a question about Jason Robertson. He's already aged out of this list. He'd be number 2 on this list pretty easily, in my opinion, if he were on it. But like, there's a reason he's asking for $12 million because he sees that same math. That cap is just blowing up.
All right, we are technically already into overtime, so we'll just wrap up the show. We do appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope you had some fun. If you didn't check out our What If show, go take a look at it. It's a fun little, I don't know. A lot of the Avs ones are like, wow, that would have sucked, but
yeah,
didn't
kind
go
of a
that
depressing look at the alternate reality sphere.
Maybe a reality check on how good the Avs have it. I don't know. We are out of here, though. We'll be back Monday. We appreciate everybody who's watching, listening, however you consume the show, and we will see you on the next one.
We all silly like the mayor.